Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show and another episode of the White Rose Rivals. Please do smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, comment in and hit the notification bell, and make sure you check each and every one of these fantastic content creators' respective podcast and YouTube channels out as well. All links to their stuff is in the description. Apologies for last week's episode, as a lot of you know, I was under the weather. To be honest, the lads had to remind me. I think it was you, Matt, who said, "Are we on tonight?" And I was like, "Shit, delirious in bed, thinking I hadn't even let them know." No show last week, which I'm glad for, because I didn't make an outlandish prediction for Southampton, and then we got spanked 3-1. So I'm glad. But listen, we've got loads to get into. As you can see, Ash is back after a few weeks off, weddings and other engagements and stuff. But we're going to start with you straight off the bat, Ash, because obviously last night, I think it was about 8. I think our game was on, actually, as it was announced. I remember someone mentioning it on the watch along. Xisco Munez has been given his marching orders. What are your initial reaction to that news? Positive, because he's been pretty rubbish, right?
Season starts now, Joe. We've given everyone 10 games head start, you know. And we've actually, it's 36 game season. Didn't you know that, lads? You know. Well, I think there's only one. It's got to be, hasn't you? You've got to be delighted. I mean, statistically, the worst manager we've ever had.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So that tells you all that we don't need to know. It's been, you all know it's been appalling, disastrous, appalling. All of the adjectives for shit. Oh, apologies, language.
It's so right, mate.
It was only a matter of time. I don't think he's ever really got into the job for various reasons. Obviously, it doesn't help when your boss is batshit crazy, and obviously. We all saw we talked about it on this show, the unveiling press conference for Munez. Yeah. So that it's gone. Yeah, got to be happy, mate. Got to be. It's not been good at all. Even obviously we got a draw against you lads, but the result on Tuesday night was appalling. It's just the way set up, the way we've played. We've got no attacking threat. Again, we had 2 shots on target and 28% possession. Now it's like I say, it's unforgivable. And he had to go. So I'm glad the chairman's done one good thing this season, and that's sacked the manager. So is
just on the chairman. Let's stay there because obviously, I mean, he put out that wild statement, didn't he, last week, saying basically, you should put your own money in. I'm not going to put any money in until, which is just not true, because surely, he's just going to lose all the money on his investment. But that guy is batshit crazy. So, I mean, the fact that he got rid of Moore and gave Munez the job in the first place, do you have confidence that he'll get the right appointment next time?
I tweeted this out this morning from our account. It was all very, very good getting rid of the manager that's obviously been disastrous, but on what have we've gone through for 17, I think it is 17 managers in the 8.5 years I think he's been there. So it's a good turnaround, and we've had probably Steve Bruce. I know the circumstances he left, and a lot of Wednesday fans are right to feel aggrieved at that, but he did have a good win percentage, and then obviously Darren Moore, which obviously left in the summer, and Carlos Carvajal, his first appointment was we nearly got there with him. Yeah. So there is history of him picking somebody, but it's just the way that the fan. It's a toxic atmosphere at Hillsborough. A lot of the fans have really turned on the owner for good reason, and I think this next appointment, I think it's pretty critical for obviously this season and the owner as well. I'm not sure. Apparently, in the last couple of hours on Twitter, it's all done and dusted, the new manager, but I don't know who it is.
Really?
Yeah. So he's moved quickly, and that must say that he's had his eyes on somebody already. The only thing is, I can't see him of pinching a manager from someone. It's got to be someone who's been out of work, because we've just got no money. And like he said earlier in his statement, he don't want to put any more money into the club. He must have obviously paid Xisco off, but I can't see him. I can't see him laying out any sort of compensation for anyone who's already in a job.
Yeah, it's mad. I mean, Matt, obviously being down that end, you'll probably know a lot of Wednesdayites, and there's the rivalry there. What's your reaction to Xisco getting? I sort of felt it was inevitable anyway, Matt.
Yeah, it's disappointing they couldn't wait until we play him at the end of the month, to be honest with you. I was really hoping he'd hang on. But yeah, we're always on a hiding for nothing. He's always been really prickly at press as well. That's been quite a fun watch over the past couple of weeks. He asked if Jonah wanted to play left back for him on Tuesday night, I think.
Yeah,
so he just weren't making friends. And if it's a bad situation, you come out and try and be positive, you try and get the fans on side a little bit. It would have bought him a bit more time. But the football's obviously been dire. He's not making any friends. It were an odd appointment in the first place, and it's turned out to be a really, really shocking appointment. It can get worse. That's the problem for you guys. It could be anybody. It could be literally anybody.
Yeah.
With some clubs you go, they'll go for this type of manager, and we know what this is going to be. It could be anything. It could be Warnock. It could be some Italian bloke we've never heard of. We just don't know. But he needed
batshit crazy bingo.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he had to go. He probably outstayed his welcome by 3 or 4 games. It's sadly I think it's the right decision, although they should have waited.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, it's my. Do you think? I know we're only 10 games in, but it's going to take some job. I mean, we played Sheffield Wednesday, and look, they did get a point, but I think Ash was right. They had nothing in attack. Maybe that is just due to the manager, and another manager might come in and unlock them. But do you think they can stay up? And I know there's still 36 games. Is a hell of a way to go, but they just look quite far off it. I mean, Barry Bannon's the best player, and as much as I actually rate Barry Bannon, he's getting on now.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with how relentless the championship is as a league, and how strong it is as a league this season. You can't afford to be playing catch up. And like you say, it's 10 games in. They're yet to win a game. It's only got 2 points, I think it is. You've got a massive mountain to climb, I think, Sheffield Wednesday. And like you say, I feel like Matt said there, he should have probably gone 3 or 4 games ago. If the fans aren't confident in what you're doing, and he was playing square pegs and round holes from what I could see. As a manager, if you're going to be a good manager, you've got to get the best out of the players at your disposal. He had a bit of a turbulent transfer window, and the players not coming in until late, but like you say, you've got to come in and get the best out of that squad of players that you've got, and he wasn't doing that, and they didn't look convincing at all in any of the games. And like you say, they only got a point from Leeds because they literally parked the bus, and you're not going to stay in the league doing that. You've got to score goals, and there doesn't look like there's enough goals in that Wednesday team for me. And my biggest question would be, obviously, is there a manager available that can come in and realistically go on a massive winning spree to get them back in the mix to stay in? I don't think there is, because they'd be in a job, wouldn't they? They've got to pick the scraps from what's left now, or wait till
the current
another manager gets sacked, perhaps.
The current favourite, Anne, is Neil Warnock. Do you see him crossing that divide from Blades over to Wednesday? It'd be quite some flex, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I don't think he will, because didn't he leave Huddersfield because he was something to do with his health problems or family or something?
But he says it's all time, doesn't it? It's my last job. It's my last job.
It's a bit too soon, isn't it? I think he might wait till I think he can't resign from Huddersfield saying that I've got to stop football because of health conditions or something, and then a couple of months later go to Sheffield Wednesday. That doesn't make sense. Chris Wilder did mention that'd be funny, but I don't think he'd ever do it.
It's not like he'd be coming into a stable club either, was it? You know what I'm saying? It's like probably one of the worst run clubs.
Yeah.
Got up, well, maybe apart from Reading, maybe, but we're getting there. We're still getting there. So it's not.
It's similar. It's similar to the Alams under us, when obviously the name change got rejected. They refused to put any more money into the club, and at that point, there's only one direction you're going, isn't there? You've got to, the only money that they would spend would be from player transfers or from TV revenue, anything like that. So we were getting freebies, loans, and we literally just plummeted down the league like a stone. I think we had the worst championship run ever, something like 6 points from 60 available, finished bottom. And it's worrying when you see that as a fan, and when you're understanding, right, I'm not going to put no more money in, and especially because it's more like he's being a petulant child because the fans are not happy with what they're seeing and what's happening, and they're voicing that concern, and he's just gone, well, if you're all not happy, then that's it, I'm not doing it anymore. You put money in and you run the club, then it's just insane, isn't it? It's mad.
Do you believe him, Ash? Do you know he says that? He says, I'm not going to put money in. Do you think when January's transferring window comes, he'll pump £5 million in and go for playoffs, something stupid? Or do you think he's being serious?
No, I think he is serious. I think he is. The statement that come out said he was not going to put in any more additional funds. So at the minute, if you believe him, he's putting in £2 million a month of running the club of his own money. So I think that the fear from some fans were this £2 million a month, is that counted as additional, or is he meaning over that? Because if he pulled out that £2 million a month, within a month we'd be in administration.
Yeah.
So I am sure he meant additional funds, i.e., transfers, or we have got one slot, registration slot open, and we had Lyle Taylor on, just training with us. Training with us. So it was thought that he was going to bring him in as some more attacking threat. But if he's saying additional, then he's not going to lay out any more for his wages, which may be quite low, but anything like that. So I think that's what it is. I don't think, and who would do that? He's reported to be 160 to 180 million pound in the hole. He's not going to just not put 2 million in for a few months and see that administered, because that would be wiped out. It'd be gone. So he would cut his nose off to spite his face. Yeah. Petulant.
He's not going to do that, is he?
No, of course you're not.
Do that.
I wouldn't think it just is. And he's getting very close to be really backed into a corner with fans and having to cut his losses because. But it's reported some of the things. He wants his money back. He's asking for X, Y, Z. He's saying he's going to put the club up for sale, but without officially doing it, and saying that if the fans want him to go, he will. Well, if you've seen especially over the last 2 or 3 weeks, I'm thinking it's pretty damn obvious that a large proportion of the fans, and it's getting more every week, want him to go.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely. You can understand why as well. And do you know the mad thing is with a mad twist of events as well? You've obviously got Huddersfield this weekend, so Darren Moore's returning, mate. I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's only going one way. That is only going one way. Darren Moore takes Huddersfield and wins that game for me. That's the way I'd see it anyway. It's written. But will he get a good reception? I assume he will, right?
I think he will. Yeah. I think he'll get a good reception. I was in two minds. I was thinking, will the owner get rid of Xisco before Darren Moore comes? Because if he does, it's showing him that he got it wrong and Darren Moore's it. Or does he keep him and hope that he wins and prove himself right by beating the manager that obviously still a lot of fans hold with high regard for obvious reasons. So, but he's pulled the trigger and hopefully it's going to be Neil Thompson who's been the under-21 coach, and he's done the caretaker before, so it'll be him in charge. So hopefully the old new manager bounce or new caretaker bounce.
Yeah. Is that a thing, or have you just made that one up? The new caretaker.
I'm clutching at every straw. I will take anything.
I don't blame you, mate. I mean, Matt, I can. Go on. What were you going to say?
I'm just saying we're 7 points adrift already. And like I said, 36 points, 7 points, all right then. But you've got to get into some sort of rhythm, haven't you, of wins and draws and points and just scraping them. And I've just looked here. Believe it or not, we're not the worst performing team in the league at the minute. It's Blackburn who've lost 4 on the trot, and we've lost 3. So that's a bonus, isn't it? Yeah, I'll take it.
Matt, obviously they've got Huddersfield at the weekend. It is at Hillsborough though, right? Isn't it, Ash? Like I've said, D1 winner, Darren Moore, sort of getting his own back, if you like, over the chairman Chansiri. How do you see it going, that game, mate?
Same. I think if Xisco was still there, I think you could have maybe seen a horrible 1-0 Wednesday win just for the storyline. Have been brilliant, but yeah, Darren Moore's good. I think it'd be his first win as well, wouldn't it? I think. Or did they win other night? Maybe the first win.
Yeah, they drew with Ipswich. Did they draw with Ipswich or get beat? I think it was 1-1. Yeah.
They lost 4-1.
It's just
drew
written
with Coventry, drew with Ipswich, and then lost the last game against
Birmingham. Yeah. The good little win, 2-0, something like that. It'll be.
Yeah.
But then if they do get a manager in, is that going to again put a bit of positivity from the Wednesday side, and then it turns because Hillsborough can be a really good place to play football if when your team's doing well, the fans are behind you. So, but I do think it'd be Moore's first win.
Yeah, same. I think I'll go. I think I'm going to go 2-0 as well, mate. To Huddersfield. And what are your thoughts? Huddersfield versus Wednesday.
I really want to say I really want to say that Darren Moore sort of wants to get one over Chanteri, and I don't think he'd want to necessarily get one over Sheffield Wednesday because I think he clearly likes the club and wanted to stay, but he'll definitely want to beat the owner. But I've got a feeling it's one of those games, where Wednesday will win because Xisco's gone, and it'll be a one of those kind of stories. So yeah, I'm going to go for a cheeky 1-0 Wednesday, I think.
Nice, I like it. And what about you then, Ash?
Ant can come on more often. I like Ant.
You'll not see me predict Wednesday win very often, mate.
It's if Xisco was still in charge, I would have. I agree. I think it would have been maybe a hard watch. I do think Moore would have loved that, and I agree with you, Ant. I don't think he's got a bad thing to say about Sheffield Wednesday per se. It's more obviously the regime and the man in charge. I'm gonna go for a 1-0 Wednesday win. I've got to be positive, and if it's not gonna change just because we've got rid of the Dross manager. It's not going to change overnight. Hopefully it does, but it's not. It's going to take time for whoever comes in, and if it is Neil Thompson at the weekend, he's took training, so it'll be a 1-0 because we really don't have any attacking threat. Really don't. So it's going to be something, a goal from midfield or something like that, because I can't see Ashley Fletcher adding to his 28 career goals for a striker. It's just absolutely mind-blowing. So, yeah, I'm going to go for a 1-0 Wednesday win.
1-0 Wednesday, nice. I like it.
Got to keep positivity.
You have, man. You have. You've got to do it. Right, let's talk about Hull. The second part of the time. Yeah, Leeds replace Hull in the top 6. Leeds are now the shining light in Yorkshire, and we've taken the mantle after what was a great start for you guys. What's been happening of late then, mate? A couple of poor results have meant you've dropped down the table a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, we're still level on points with Leeds. It's not like we've fallen off.
Mate, that doesn't matter come the end of the season, Paul.
It's a weird one because like last season, we could have been described as the nearly team because the injuries that did us, if we'd have had a full-strength squad, we might have done a lot better. But this season, we started really well, and now we've got a couple of injuries to key players like Regan Slater, for example. Massive miss against Ipswich. His harrying in is persistent sort of dynamism in midfield. We really, really missed that. And I mean, let's not joke here. I thought Ipswich were the best side we played all season. They were absolutely amazing. The way that they're so well structured, organised, they counter attack with such speed, absolutely ruthless. There was no complaints losing that game. We were slightly under the weather, and they were just all over us. I honestly think that there'll be a promotion side in either the autos or the playoffs. Plymouth game was different, however, because we dominated that basically for 90 minutes. But the story of our home campaign this season is that we just can't seem to win the games. We just keep drawing them. Barring Sheffield Wednesday, of course. I don't know. We struggle to break teams down when they the impetus is on us to attack. When teams sit back a bit, we can't really. We're more of a counter attack side, and obviously Plymouth. Our regime at the minute is. We go a goal down and bring it back, but don't do enough to win it. And it's weird because it takes the other team to score to inject some urgency into our play. And then we actually wake up and start playing some proper football. It's really frustrating. It happens every week. Plymouth was the exact same. Go 1-0 down to probably their first chance of the game. Chasing it already. We capitalise on a mistake, get back into it. And then the second half, it was just all us and we just couldn't do it. So we've got to find that extra bit of ruthlessness up top. I think Rosini will know what we need to work on. I'm actually quite glad that we got a bit of a humbling at Ipswich because I feel like it highlighted some stuff that we kind of knew were wrong, but we're ignoring it because of the run. So now we can sort of identify that and obviously try and fix them for the future games. But we're still, you know, like we say, we're what, 9th place, I think, after 10 games. And when they say look at the table after 10 games, you know whereabouts you're going to be. And I definitely still have us as playoff outsiders. I don't think we are a top 6 side, but I think we will flirt with them all season. And what it's shown so far is that we are. So it's not, a couple of poor results, but like I say, we've got plenty of time to turn it around.
Yeah, 100%. And you mentioned Ipswich there, and because obviously I was saying the other day before we played QPR that I'm a little bit worried that the top two's creating in a bit of a too big of a gap with Leicester and Ipswich. They've got off to a flyer, both teams. They just don't seem to be getting beat. I know we beat Ipswich, but since then they've won every game since, I think. Or you know, they're just not dropping points. Having seen them, obviously, you beat Leicester as well, I think, didn't you? You were the only team to beat them. Do you think, would you still, obviously, you've played Leeds United as well, so Ipswich for you, clear as the best team in the division?
I mean, the way that every single player knows, down to a T, what's expected of them under that system. I mean, that McKenna, I'm not going to pretend that I knew much about him last season, and then I was seeing people predict them for top 2 at the beginning of the season. Thought surely that's a bit much. They're a good side. He's a good manager, but come on, let's be a bit realistic with how strong this league is. But honestly, for 90 minutes, I just sat there and was just like, wow, I'm so jealous. I'm envious of them fans get to go to that stadium and watch that high intensity, sort of relentless attacking every single week. I think there's some mad stat where they've scored in every single game since the 14th of February. So that's 28 games in a row that they've scored, and in 24 of them, they've scored 2 or more. So they're absolutely ruthless. And I think the most impressive thing is the majority of their squad have been League One players for a very long time, and they were previously. And he's done similar to what Bielsa did with Leeds. He's taken what is, you know, a mediocre side in that league and turned them into contenders at the higher level and further. So no, I'm really, really impressed with them. It'd be interesting to see if they can keep it going over the season. But no, definitely the best side we've played all year.
Fairs, mate. Fairs. Obviously, you're away at Millwall. I don't know what your record's like down there. It can be a tough place to go, apart from if you Leeds United and you slap them up 3-0. But you know, other teams, mate. What are your thoughts on that game?
It's a horrible place to go. I don't think we've got the best record there, but we don't tend to do too bad. I think we've actually picked up quite a few points the last few times we've gone. But it will be interesting because one of their best performers has been Longman, who's on loan from us and he can't play. So hopefully they'll miss him. It's one of these because Millwall away was actually Rosini's first game for us last season. And we got Oscar got sent off in like the 30th minute. So we had 10 men for the vast majority of the game. Still came away with a 0-0. I feel like they're not the Millwall of old. They've been, you know, chasing the playoffs the last few years. They look a little bit under that this season, but I'd like to think that we've got a reaction in us after Ipswich. It'd be interesting to see how Rosinia approaches the game after such a convincing loss like that, because I think we've not actually had a defeat that comprehensive under Rosinia. So I can imagine they've probably had quite a tough week in training and don't want to have it again because he's got very high standards, and I wouldn't have wanted to be in that changing room after the full-time whistle because we were absolutely schooled. We didn't even lay a finger on him, let's be honest. So no, I'd like to think we'll go there. I'd say I'd take a point, but then that's only 2 points from 3 games, and that's not great, really. But like we say, it's a tough place to go, Millwall. So yeah, I'd be happy with the point, I think.
Give me your score prediction, mate.
We just can't seem to keep a clean sheet at the minute, but we have got goals in us. I'm going to go 1-1.
1-1. I like it. I'm gonna steal that as well, mate. Just with you saying you can't keep a clean sheet. Ash, thoughts on Millwall Hull?
I was going to go exactly the same. I mean, Hull, they've got the attacking threat, but obviously recent results, you can see the ship a goal or two. So I was going to go 1-1 as well. So I mean, it's a bit of a cop out, but I think there's got to be something in it. Three of us up to now have gone for that. So, 1-1. So 1-1 for me.
And what about you, Matt?
I'm going to go Hull win. I'm going to go 2-1 Hull.
Nice.
Like Ant mentioned, no clean sheet. But not fancying Millwall. I know they battered us, but we were rubbish. But I fancy Hull to get something this weekend.
Nice. Well, let's talk about Rotherham, mate. I think 5 points off now, are you? 5 points?
4 now. Only
four.
4.
4, sorry, yeah. 4 points off Watford, who were in 21st. We played QPR last night, and they're so bad. So, although we only won 1-0, they're pretty bad. So, and obviously we've already spoken about Sheffield Wednesday. 10 games in, as Ant said earlier, it sort of gives you a barometer or an idea of where you're going to be come the end of the season. Are you starting to worry, Matt, or are you still confident? I know it's only 4 points, 1 win and a draw, but what are your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, worry's starting to properly set in now. We talked before the international break. Last international break, we beat Norwich 2-1. We were brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, we were just so good against a really good Norwich team. And since then, we've picked up a point. I think we only scored 2 goals since then as well. We're not creating anything. Our away form is an absolute joke. 6 defeats in a row, 19 without wins, without winning away from home going into last season as well. There's not much to pick up in terms of positivity. Last night we lost 2-1 to Bristol City. But we were having, Ash mentioned about Wednesday not having shots on target. We had 2 shots on target last night. We had 0 shots on target away at Cardiff. We've just lost any sort of fluidity, and certainly, well, in terms of the attacking sense, we've got a curse in terms of defenders. We had 1 fit centre half against Cardiff. We managed to get 1 fit back last night, but then another one get injured and is out for several months with a torn hamstring. Nice. So we're back to having probably 1 fit centre half and then a backup centre half, and Peltier who was having to play centre half, which is not ideal. And then we go to Southampton.
I can't believe that guy's even a footballer, by the way. I don't rate him at all. Honestly, I think he's shocking, man. I can't believe he made it to the Premier League. Honestly, I can't believe it.
I agree with that. Yeah. But yeah, he got booed last night. The players got booed, and Matt Taylor's took a little bit umbrage to that, saying if the fans knew what the players had put in, then they wouldn't be booing. Well, we were bad. We weren't good enough. You know, if we're at home, I know Bristol City are not a rubbish team, but if you want to stay up, you need to be sort of targeting Bristol City. And they were there for the taking. They were nothing special last night. We should have been more aggressive, and we're just passive and weak. And it's a worry. He's got to turn it around, because we're probably going to lose Southampton. Then we've got Ipswich. Yeah. Then we've got Coventry. And then we've got away. Then we've got Hillsborough. So
I'm just looking as well. You mentioned the away form, and you're foot of the table for away form. 5 played, 5 losses, 2 goals scored, and 13 conceded. And then you go to a Southampton side who won last night 1-0, beat Leeds 3-1, and have turned after that 4-game winless run. They seem to have turned a corner. So you must be rightly worried, I think, looking at the result. And your away form plus who you're playing at the weekend, Matt, you must be a little bit worried, pal.
Yeah, very. The problem is we're not even having to go away from them. We went to go to Cardiff at weekend, and we just sat up. We were never going to score. We were never going to score in a million years. And you got to have a go. If you're going to, I'd rather lose 3-1 than lose 1-2. We're just not attempting anything, and especially against Southampton, they're great going forward. But if you put it on them a little bit, they've crumbled this season so far. So you need to be putting pressure on these teams, and we won't. We'll just sit in. We'll try and nick a point, and we'll lose 3 or 4-0. He's coming under a little bit of pressure now, Matt Taylor. It's not time to go, obviously not. But Tony Stewart's put more money in this summer than he's ever done before, which for us is not. For you guys won't be much money. But for us, we've spent nearly £2 million on transfer fees, and the wages are higher than they've ever been. Tony Stewart's going to want some payback on that. We can't be down by Christmas, because then we're stuffed because of money we've sort of put in. There's a real lack of positivity, and I'm shocked that the Norwich game I was so positive, and now a month and a half later it's so negative. I can't believe the downward turn in performance. Has been very little positivity since the last international. I can't pick out more than a 5-minute period where we've been pretty good, and that's a massive worry, because we've not been playing Leicester, we've not been playing Ipswich yet, we've been playing Millwall and Preston, who are all right, but Bristol City and Cardiff, these are not world beaters. These teams you need to have a go at them and try and get something, and we're just not. It's poor, really poor.
You sound really sad, Matt. Come and sit next to me on the sad sofa. We're a bit
I feel sad for Matt. I can't lie to you. I do. I'm like. You mentioned that away form, and when I looked and I thought, and he's playing Southampton, I was thinking, oh, God.
There's people not going. There's people that are just not going to bother going to away games. We've got a few international people. We watch every game. I'm not going to watch away games anymore, because what's the point? We're not going to win. It's like, I get it. I get the frustration.
It's like that. Yeah, or it's horrible when it gets like
Thankfully,
that.
Wednesday are making us look a bit better a minute. That's the only positive.
That's the only positive.
Thank you.
We are a charity at the minute, so you know.
I'll come to you last then on the predictions, Matt. I'm gonna just based on your away form, the amount of goals you've conceded. You're going to Southampton. You're not going to have a goal, which is going to play into their hands. I'm going to say 4-0. I feel, yeah. Actually, they don't score a lot of goals, do they, Southampton? That's a bit wild, actually. No, I'll stick with it.
We've got one fit centre half. Remember, we've got one fit centre half.
Okay. I'll stick with my 4-0. And what about you?
Quite comfortable 2-0 Southampton win. Unfortunately, mate. I wanted to reciprocate the nice guess you gave for us, but I can't do it.
Ash?
I'm going to go for a 3-0 Southampton win. Sorry, Matt.
Yeah.
Obviously, for everything you've highlighted, you can't disagree. So, unfortunately, mate, sorry.
I hope you get something back. But come on, you be the one to bring the confidence. I've got a feeling you're not going to either. But come on,
no, definitely not. I mean, it'd be very Rotherham United to pick up a 1-0 win. It'd be very, but we're not going to. But 3-0 Southampton. 3-0. We're not going to have a goal. We'll hold out till probably late on in mid second half, and then it'll just crumble like a deck of cards.
Yeah, at least you don't like conceding the 3rd minute and then the 9th minute and be 2-0 down against Sunderland.
Yeah, but then you get our hopes.
That's it.
When you get your hopes, we might get some out of this game. No, we won't. And then you're sort of prepared for the 90 minutes after those 3 minutes, I suppose. That's the thing. Not sure which would worse, though.
I think when you're a team that plays a certain way, and like you mentioned, you're just going to try and hold on. As soon as a goal's scored, you're fecked. You know what I mean? And then it's like, are we going to get back in? I think it's soul destroying as a fan as well. I think
it's so hard to get out of those runs. If you get on a run where you can't win or you're losing games constantly, I mean, the mentality of the players, the atmosphere around the stadium, everything, it all contributes to it. I mean, we'll have all seen it supporting our clubs where you just go on these runs that are diabolical and it's just almost torture because you can predict every single game what's going to happen and you still watch it and put yourself through it and it still hurts and it kills.
That's one of the reasons I'm glad he's made the change now and not just like every couple of games it matters. So 10 games, yes, of course, 2 points. It's shocking, but there's still time and like Andrew said, the toxicity at Hillsborough with the owner and obviously the results, and it's just the whole lot. I think a new change of manager is going to help. I think the fans, especially if he gets a couple of points in his first few games, that'll be great. But it's not good.
No, exactly. Sometimes you just need a change. I think we had 4 managers last season when we got relegated. So don't always work that way. Don't always help, but sometimes. I think with Xisco, though, he needed to go. I think we could all tell that was going to happen that way, weren't it? Right, we'll talk about Leeds United now. Got battered by Southampton, 3-1. Didn't really have a goal. Really shocked, to be honest. I was saying 4 and 5s after we battered Watford. I was so confident. I did that thing. I put a tweet out saying, I'm not even asked about the league. Bookmark this. Leeds United will be promoted. And to be honest, I've muted it. And there's been a hell of a lot of bookmarks. So I've got a feeling that might come back to bite me. But we'll wait and see. I was just so confident after Millwall and Watford, and then a point against Hull down 10 men. I'm thinking, listen, we'll be fine. And then Southampton turned up. But listen, we weren't great last night against QPR. But again, like Matt was saying, they came to just spoil, and it felt for 90 minutes they didn't want to attack. It was weird. I think they had one shot on target late on, and it was just like, what are you actually doing here? You know what I mean? So, I'm just lucky we got the goal because we do struggle against teams that pack in. We've seen that against Sheffield Wednesday. We got a goal early on against QPR. 9th minute, I was thinking, right, these are going to get battered. But as I say, they didn't change. They didn't say, right, we need to get back into it. They just played the same way. And I just thought, well, do you not want a point? Do you not want to win a game? I don't know, but everyone's different. But I don't think, to be honest, I don't rate QPR. I think the team's pretty pish, and Gareth Haynes was pretty pish as well, and I think he'll get sacked before the season's finished anyway. So we've got Bristol City at the weekend. Matt, did you see you played them?
Played them last night, yeah.
What do you make to them, mate? I've not seen much of them this season.
They must have good games, but whenever they play us, they're absolute garbage, but still beat us. It's disgusting. They were happy. They would have been happy with point. They sort of set up just to not lose, and there were quite a lot of long balls. But they have got that quality. They've got those couple of players that can really turn it on and just have a moment of magic. Conway come on and got 2 in 10 minutes, or whatever it was. So they have got that quality, but I don't think you won't get battered for 90 minutes. But if they stay in the game long enough, Pearson's savvy and knows what he's doing. If they stay in the game, they can hurt anybody.
Solid, aren't they? I mean, we played and we drew 1-1 at home with them, and it was one of those games where we were probably the better side in the first half. They were the better side in the second half. They lost a couple of key players in summer, I think, and they've decided what Pearson's decided is that he's going to play away to not lose and see if they can pick up a couple of goals on the thing, and it's working so far. They're up there in the top 8, are they? I think something like that.
Yeah, they're up there. Yeah, they are doing all right.
The system they're playing. They're in every single game, I think, is what you can say about them. You won't put 3 or 4 past them, I don't think. But they're threatening on the counter as well.
Yeah, I'm just looking. They're actually 4th in the away form table. 1-3, drawn 1, and only lost 1. So they come to spoil. Yeah, it's a case of staying in the game. To be honest, I was very confident ahead of this, but hearing what you lads are saying, I think it's going to be another slog. To be honest, where
you could always cheat though, like last night, couldn't you, Joe?
Oh yeah, can we talk about that?
Talk about it. We can talk about it.
I mean, Bamford.
Yeah.
Joe loves Bamford. You love Bamford, don't you, Joe?
No, I don't. But listen, he's dived, hasn't he? What can I say? He's dived. He's got history of doing it as well. Yeah,
players do it because it works. He's got the keeper sent off. Yeah. So it worked in the game, didn't it? They had a man advantage, and that probably then goes on to win the game because QPR are going to go and try and score a goal, are they? It just becomes damage limitation. It's just, in retrospect, when you look at it, it's just awful, isn't it? I mean, Bamford is one of those players who does something like that probably once or twice a season. I remember his what did he do against Villa where he pretended to be punched or something?
That's
threatening,
right.
Look,
I don't like Bamford.
Not a lot of Leeds fans do, mate. Don't worry about it. I don't mind him though.
To be honest, if on Saturday, let's say Lee Gregory does exactly the same, and we go on and get our first 3 points, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
We obviously do need something like that to get kick started. So yeah, I was jesting. I mean, it was a.
Mate, he
was outrageous.
Yeah. But I think the red card will be overturned. I think Gareth Ainsworth came out and said. I think he said Bamford's admitted after the game that he didn't touch him. So I think Bamford does do this as if to say no, but then realises he's going to get sent off and just goes, fuck it. Which I guess you can. Yeah. Have you seen the QPR commentary?
That is brilliant. That is so good.
Oh, it's brilliant, man. It's there. I follow, and he's like, he's died. The cheat. It's brilliant. And he goes to take the free kick after, and he goes, "It's Bamford the cheat." It's so good.
That's what you want. That's what you want, innit? You don't want
exactly. Yeah.
Especially on the I follow, the impartiality. You just want.
It's so funny, innit? Yeah. It's so funny. But to be fair, Leeds United found a tweet. I think we must have played them, and Naki Wells must have handled the ball, and they've done a tweet where he's looking at a screen. And they'd beat us. I can't remember the score, and it says no VAR down here, and Naki Will's just smiling like that. So obviously Leeds fans are giving it back, saying, well, see, the boot's on the other foot now. But yeah, it is what it is. I think, to be honest as well, our goal, I think it goes out of play, to be honest. I think it goes out of play.
The officiating this season, I think if you speak to every single fan of each club in the league, they'll all say the ref has been terrible or the line has been terrible. It's
in every division, isn't it? In the Premier League, look at the VAR at the weekend.
And we've got them. They've been appointed the officials for our game at Millwall, both of them.
The ones that did the VAR for
they
Liverpool.
Got demoted from the Premier League as punishment, and they've chucked in our game.
That's brilliant. They shouldn't be. I don't know. Just fucking sack them. I don't know. I guess you've heard that recording. It's brutal, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
awful.
So bad.
I felt sorry for him. You know, there's a minute where you go, "Oh shit! Oh no!"
Shit. Yeah.
It's because it was the way that they were all seemingly happy with what they'd done, and then there was just the one who went, "Wait, are we agreeing with the on-field?" The on-field who said it was offside, and he was like, "The image we gave him, he's onside," and they're like, "Yeah, no, it's fine." Can't stop the game.
That's the thing. He's like the guy who mentioned it as well. He's not even a referee, is he? He's like, he's happy with that. He's like a VAR official.
He's bemused, isn't he? He can't believe it. I don't think.
Yeah, it was the video operator. The guy who did the actual video, and he's like one who recognised, and it's like, I've kicked off now. So,
man. So mad. I'll just get back to the prediction then. So I'm gonna go. I think it might be tight actually, just based on what you were telling me about Bristol City. I'm gonna go for. I still think we keep a clean sheet. So with that in mind, I'm gonna go 1-0 Leeds. Ash.
I'm gonna go Leeds. But obviously with Bristol's away form and I think it's going to be 2-1 Leeds. I do think
2-1. Yeah,
you'll get a couple of goals, and I don't think you'll keep a clean sheet. So I'm going 2-1.
Nice. What say you, Ant?
Yeah, I think I was tempted to say 1-1, but I think a little bit of complacency snuck in with Leeds lately, and I think they'll switch on again for Bristol and try and get back on that sort of mentality they were in before, and obviously before the Southampton game. So yeah, I'm going to say 2-1 Leeds, I think.
Nice, I like it. Matt?
Yeah, same. I don't think it helps Bristol having 2 trips up here in 3 days, wherever it is. So yeah, Leeds win 2-1.
Nice. We'll wait to get Cosses. And I was going to think we need predictions for the Huddersfield game, but we've already given them, haven't we? Because obviously they play Sheffield Wednesday, so I just need to copy them across, so that's no bother. Lads, anything on your respective podcasts this week that people need to be looking out for?
Not necessarily from us. We're in the finals for the Football Content Awards. I don't know if Tom mentioned it before.
Nice.
So the voting for that closes on the 15th at midnight, I believe. So
have you got the link, bro? Have you got the link?
It's on our Twitter. We've pinned it at the top of our Twitter page. It's at @Hull_and_back. So if there's no Leeds or your content creators there, and you fancy giving us a vote, you can do. And we took bronze last year, so we're trying to push on and get a bit further. But yeah, we'll plug that. Might as well.
100%. Let me post it in the comments now, folks. Go and vote to Hull and Back. There it is in the comments. You're speaking to an ex-winner of that, by the way. All Leeds TV. With All Leeds TV, yeah, we did. We did win it back. But the only have you been to the event?
Yeah, we went. Last year was the first time we've ever been.
Okay, so I don't know. Was it a free bar?
It was free beer on the table. It was sponsored by Carlsberg, I believe. So they had loads of
right. The first year that we went, we didn't win it that year. It was at the Etihad, and it was a free bar. Emma Jones thingied it. She was like the host. You know Emma Jones, the Leeds United fan. Yeah, it was such a great night, man. Yeah, exactly. Such a great night. And then the year we won, it was COVID, man. So we didn't even get to go that. We had to do a video link thing. It was rubbish, but. Gutted about that, but yeah, it's such a great night. It's expensive for your table and whatnot.
Yeah, it's £80 a ticket. It's in Anfield this year, so
is it?
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah. Oh great. Well, listen, I hope you win, mate, and like you say, you'll have a good night either way. So make sure you check that out, and the link is there, folks. So go and vote for that. No worries, pal. Matt, is there anything going on at the Rotherham end? Apart from losses, sorry.
That's such a dig.
Having said that, if we get battered on against Southampton, Sunday's episode could be quite fun. So if you want to see some crying Rotherham fans, we are the place to be for that.
Nice. And Ash, I suppose you'll be reacting to your new manager when it gets announced.
Yeah, we'll be. We've got a bit of a departure special tonight type thing. So the guys are going to be on talking about that. But yeah, we'll do a special new manager special. We did one for Xisco, which was a bit of a waste of time, but you never know.
Is there a manager that you want it to be?
Yeah, go
on. I've not
really. Carvajal. Is Carvajal in work? What about Carlos Carvajal? Is he working?
He's not in work, and he's not a name that's really been mentioned in the last 24 hours. So I'm not sure on that. Me personally, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who I want. I don't know.
Mark Hughes has just been sacked at Bradford.
Yeah, I know. No, thank you. No, I'm all right with
that. Steve Evans has been mentioned. Wouldn't Steve Evans be comedy? That'd be great.
Steve Evans has been mentioned quite a bit.
We had Evans at our place, man. What a guy.
I know. He'd be doing the tour of Yorkshire, wouldn't he, if he did that? No, I don't know. I just want someone that's going to come in, obviously, hit the ground running. We need it. Get on the fan side and get some points on, but I don't know, to be honest. Really don't. I'm not a massive fan of Warnock, so I hope it's not him. So that's personally though, but I can see why a lot of fans do.
Yeah, I think he won't do it just because of what Ant said earlier. I think the only job that he takes, because he's been linked to his Rangers, because it's Rangers. I think he's actually been linked to the Rangers job. So, but so's Lampard. I think I'd rather go Warnock than Lampard. I don't know how that man continues to get jobs.
He's got a terrible record, hasn't he?
It's mental. It is mental. But we'll wait and see. But yes, go on, mate.
Someone in the comments has put Gary Monk. No, thank you.
No, he's got Italy, isn't he? He's been linked with Sampdoria.
Sampdoria, yeah. Which is our old owners' new club, Radrizzani.
I mean, come on, Sheffield or Sampdoria. I mean,
yeah.
John,
snake
Seri picked us over a team in the Serie A, so it's possible. It shows Hull over Italy. It's there.
Does he live in Hull, though?
Probably not, no. He probably lives about 3 hours away.
Probably. Great stuff. Great episode, lads. Great to get together and have a good laugh and talk about football. It's always great. Please, folks, if you can, make sure you check out all these respective channels, including Cossie over at Huddersfield. We'll get his score predictions in. We won't be back next week because, as I say, it's the international break again. We've got another 10 days off, I think, but we'll be back prior to the other games. I'm back at 9 o'clock for the final word on last night's 1-0 win with a few familiar Leeds United faces, so make sure you join us for that. And we'll see you in a bit. Thanks as always for watching and enjoy your evening, and hopefully, folks, see you at 9 o'clock.